Hello and welcome, audience. I'm Narrator, the creator, and today I have a story to tell. A story of a sad little man with a single wish. His name was forgotten, but nowadays we call him Smile Man.
Every day he felt the same. Every day, forced repeat. Walking through the empty streets to work that lurks with jerks and unwanted perks. The daylight ends and forced to walk the streets he's seen 1,000 times. At home, he feels secure. Offshore is the ocean of hate and fate. He finds himself debating in bed, to sleep or not, to weep or sleep, the days repeat. Walking to and back, work felt his only purpose, day and day, day and day, day and day. Losing track of time, his age, his life, everything slipped away. Walking to work on the road with workload, tears dripped down. He began to yell, "I'm done! I'm done! Every day feels the same. Nothing new. My life is gone!" The man ran, not knowing where or why. He only knew he had to run. "I'm free! I won't be back! This useless work, this useless cycle will never be with me again!" A shine of light filled his eyes. Oh wait, that's a car. Waking up in a place like heaven, something felt familiar. Getting up to the blessed house, something felt the same. Walking up to the rusty old doors, pushing them open. A hallway of paintings with people that felt so familiar. Walking through, he felt secure, offshore the fate's debates. He walked for an hour, maybe two, till he reached a mirror door. Took some time to look at himself. His eyes were baggy, his hair was messy, a reminder what he was. He twisted the knob and walked right in. People talking and eating at a dinner table, laughing, smiling, everything he never had. There was one empty chair just for him. Sitting down, he watched the table stretch to the end. He felt like he knew everyone, but no one knew him. A plate of food laid full of smoky beef. The smell itched his nose, saliva streamed down his chin. He grabbed a knife and fork and smiled. "Let's dig in," he said. The room was full, but not a single soul heard his voice. Bite after bite, that delicious taste began to vanish. It felt empty. Looking around at other people, they looked so happy eating the same smoky beef. He began to wonder, was it his taste buds failing? Was it others too grateful? As time went on, he felt alone, surrounded by people he knew. The beef on the plate began to rot. He began to wonder, is he in hell? The room felt torturous. Couldn't leave, felt left out by the people he knew. Their laughter and chatter became like white noise to him. He knew the room was full, but he didn't see a soul. And if this was heaven, then it must be a God's sick joke. So many questions. Where the hell was he? The room felt broken, unstable, as if everything was going to collapse on him. His breaths were shorter, his heart raced death. He didn't want it to end like this, not like this. At a corner of his eye, a shine of light. Turning around, he saw a deity, the God. The being was tall in his pure white dress that wiped the floor right after. He made a door and walked right out. Its face was covered by sheets of cloth that were held by a tall, golden crown. The being walked away. He knew this was his only chance. He ran after, escaping his heaven. The light was blinding, but it was just a yard with a table that had a hole to earth. The god looked down, acknowledging our existence. I stood beside. I didn't dare to speak. The being turned his head and looked at me and began to ask, "My child, what are you doing here?" I couldn't hold it in. I had to say, "I want to live, a second chance. He gave me an unfair beginning at the bottom bidder. I crawled my way, but I couldn't make it. Please, I want to try again." Silence filled the air. The god walked away. I chased right after, grabbing the clothing, pleading and begging. The being swung his arm, pushed me away, and began to speak. "You're the sinner and I'm the god. You shouldn't be here. Go back to your place, and the next time I see you, you'll be in disgrace." Getting back up, I had to speak for the people suffering below. You gave me this fate, and all of those below our feet are suffering from your decisions. Running up to the table, looking down on earth. "This isn't fair. Everyone deserves a meaningful life, a meaningful death. You can't just abandon us. We're your creations." Turning around, the god stood still. The being's shoulders went up and down as a hysterical laugh filled the air. He squatted down to my eyes and spoke the words I feared to hear. "You thought fate was there. You thought your life had meaning. Don't be foolish. Indeed, I created you, but if I had a choice, I would have just killed you. You thought I had plans for you. You thought there was fate for you. But let me tell you something. From the day you were born, you're destined to die a meaningless life. If you really want to know what your fate was, it was to drown in despair, and now that you know, go back to your heaven. Standing up and walking away, my hands were shaking, my thoughts were trembling. I glanced to my right and left. I saw as a knife, and the next thing I knew, the god was dead. Standing over the god's dead body, a smile broke out. I began to laugh and laugh and laugh. Wasn't this funny? Wasn't I happy? I wanted to cry, I wanted to be angry, but all I could do was laugh. My jaw began to sting. I wanted to stop, but I had to laugh. My smile got wider and wider, my jaw began to crack. Tears drowned my face, I had to stop, but I had no choice. My mind was filled with laughter, plastic happiness. My fate continued, that God had heard me. My wish came true, now the only truth I knew was happiness. Yo, hello, my bad for not uploading, I was busy, I got sick, accidentally didn't save my entire recording, then got sick again, well I'm still sick, but in general, yeah, it wasn't fun, but I finally did it. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, and if you have any questions, I'll happily answer them. But of course, I'll not answer everything, no spoilers, so see you next time.
At home, he feels secure. Offshore, he hates fate. His breath was shorter, his rate, Oh, okay. Acknowledging our existence. I stood still, besides, didn't speak to dare. Oh my god.
Today on TV Meet, Paradise Island citizens get the security they need.
The biggest night in TV. They always tell you in politics you got to watch who you follow. I don't know what I was thinking, but it's a great honor to be here.
Well, it's an honor to have you
this night.
Yeah. Now, weren't you on, no, you weren't on Seinfeld, but you were portrayed.
Yeah.